going on, peeps? Okay, so I've been wanting to do this for a really, really long time. So I think I'm finally ready to talk about it. And I have some time. I have a hair secret. Oh, first off, I have my new hairdo. What do you think? What do you think? Well, it kind of won't comb in now, but yeah, so I cut off my hair. Again, this is like the 11th time or the 12th time about that I've cut off my hair. I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. Just cutting off my hair, keeping it really low for a while. I'll throw in some texturizer and everything, and then I'll grow it back. And yeah, it's here. It grows back, man. So it's always interesting the first couple of days after I do it, because then I start wearing makeup, like, you know, playing with my makeup and wearing dresses and stuff like that. I think I have a very boyish face. My lips help me out, and my smile. But if I took off this eyeshadow and stuff, cross Miss Rebel, I think I have a boyish face, but a cute boy, right? So I tend to play with my makeup and stuff like that after I cut off my hair for a little while and get all girly in my dress. But I love cutting off my hair, and it always grows back. Except I have a hair secret, and my hair secret is that I actually have alopecia, which is a form of hair loss, which might suggest my cutting days are over. Not. So let me tell you what my story is. Okay. So I have central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. It's a mouthful to say. Central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. And basically it's a form of hair loss that appears to be very common when you're talking about hair loss among women of African descent. Black women. And it kind of affects this area here, like that crown area. And then it kind of spreads out from there. It involves itching and burning of the scalp. I mean, like burning, like your hair's on fire. Like imagine when you have been scratching your hair all day and then you go and get your hair straightened, and it gives you that burn, and you come on. You're doing that, yeah, except that there's no straightening in your hair. It's just burning. Your scalp is just on fire for no good reason. Some people report scratching their scalp until it bleeds. I have these. These are my fingernails, not bought, homegrown. I can't afford to do that, but I've come close many times because of how much the scalp itches. What happens with CCCA is that it's also called scarring alopecia, and what happens is the scarring does not happen above the scalp, it happens beneath the scalp, and it effectively just destroys the hair follicle and stops the hair from growing back again in the affected areas. So you'll have thinning and or bald patches because of this condition. And like I said, it can start up here or like in here, and then it spreads its way out from there. It can be very, very gradual or very, very rapid. It can be uncomfortable, and of course, you know, females, we want to have our hair, so you know, your self-esteem can be dealt quite a blow when you get that diagnosis, or you realize that that's what's going on with you. And that happens to be the form of alopecia that I have. It's one of the trickier forms of alopecia as well, because unlike things like traction alopecia, where you know it's because you've been putting so much tension on certain parts of the hair that it breaks and the follicle might be destroyed or what have you, or affected, there's no real understanding of the cause of this form of hair loss. Some people will say, like the hair Nazis, I can hear them marching left, right, haha, the chemicals. Told you. No, actually, they can't really, the scientists, doctors can't really put their finger on the direct cause of alopecia, central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia, otherwise known as scarring alopecia, and also known as hot comb alopecia. It was once called that because the ladies presenting would be the ones who were pressing out their hair, and they'd present with these issues. So you're thinking, okay, well, that might be the cause for it, except that you started to see sisters and women in general doing all sorts of different things with their hair and still having the issue. So naturalistas had the problem. Women with locks had the problem. Women who never used chemicals or hot pressed their hair, hot comb their hair, having those problems. Or maybe they did, but for a long, long time they didn't. Years and years and years, and then all of a sudden they started to present with the issue. Also, women of other races and men having this particular form of alopecia. So, hair Nazis calm the hell down. What we do know is that the chemical treatments do not help and could in fact exacerbate the issue. You can't see that as the exact cause of it. And what that means is that it makes it very hard to treat. There is no cure-all for this condition. Medical intervention tends to focus on trying to slow it down, stop it from spreading. But once that hair follicle is gone, it's gone. What can be done is to try to resurrect the hair around the affected areas. So you might have that bald patch, but there's still like around the jagged edge of that patch there could be hair follicles that you can try to regrow, and that's kind of what the doctor is trying to focus on, trying to like find out early in the piece if that's what you have, trying to slow its progress, and then trying to get hair around those jagged areas. So early intervention is extremely important in treating this form of alopecia. So if you've been experiencing this itchiness and burning in your scalp, you cannot explain what's going on, or maybe you have been and thinking it's your products, maybe it's not, and maybe you want to head to your doctor to ask a question to find out if this might be what you have, and to start a course of treatment. Very often courses of treatment involve steroids, injections, I should say, in your scalp, and then they'll follow it up with things like Rogaine and other topical treatments to bring some sort of relief to the area and try to help you regrow hair. My story I'll start in 2012, June of 2012, just a couple months before I was to get married, the August. I went to get my hair straightened because I wanted to get a particular type of style, and I wanted my hair straightened out. And the stylist who did it afterwards, she said, okay, something is going on with your hair because it was so thin, it was so limp, and worst off, it was see-through. You could see straight through to my scalp. I was horrified. I'd never seen my hair in such a state before, and I knew something was wrong. We made a game plan for how I could still look beautiful for my wedding day. It came off, I think. But I knew that I had to go to the doctor to find out exactly what was going on with me. I went to the doctor, and the doctor decided to do a dermatologist, and the doctor decided to do a scalp biopsy. What that involves is taking a small little piece of your scalp in the affected area, the area where you're getting all these symptoms, and testing it to find out exactly what is going on, because it could be all sorts of different things happening with you. There are different diseases and conditions that could result in hair loss. So they're not just going to look at it and say, okay, that's what it is. A few years earlier I had done something like that, because my stylist before the one that I went to in June, she saw that I had a smooth patch, and I told her about a tender spot, and she was saying, oh yeah, Janelle, this is what's going on. And I'd realized that my hair was not as thick as it used to be in other areas, and it was getting this itching, but it would come and go. And I was thinking at one point, probably it's the products I was using, maybe I'm letting the straighteners stay too long in my hair, or what have you. And that stylist suggested I go to some person, and I went to a doctor, a dermatologist, and he looked at it and he said, you know what, this is probably just something that you're putting on the hair that is affecting you, a temporary issue, something that maybe we can fix. And he suggested I use the Rogaine. It's a rather messy affair, and I tried it for a little while. I didn't really see any results, and by that time I wasn't having any itching, or not as much. So it's like, whatever, guess it's past. Not knowing that, that was a major red flag, and maybe I should have done something from then. But I didn't. So fast forward then to 2012, getting the scalp biopsy done. Had my wedding, had a wonderful honeymoon, came back. I didn't want to go back to the doctor just yet for the results because I figured, given the state of my hair, something had to be up. And I waited a couple more months, and then I went back to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed, yes, you have alopecia, and not only that, you have CCCA, which is one of the trickier forms of alopecia to deal with. But he did make a promise to me that, he was going to make sure I didn't lose any more hair. He's really going to try everything to make sure I didn't lose any more hair. The everything that he was going to try involved injections in the scalp, these steroid injections. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm absolutely terrified of injections. I am huge, baby. Like, Liz cry, like, all night tearing up. Just thinking about injections. So that was a no-no. The second part is the steroid injections. The idea of just flooding my body with steroids just did not appeal to me. I would like to have children. My husband and I, we want to have babies, and I didn't like the idea of introducing these types of things into my body. But I have a conversation with my doctor about how the medication, the injections might have affected my reproductive health. No, I did not have the conversation. Did I research that specifically? Not quite. I did see some testimonials on YouTube. One lady especially said that her doctor had suggested this one thing, and she had to turn that down because it was known to have an effect on pregnancy, and she and her husband were trying to start a family. Was that the same thing my doctor was suggesting? I really don't know. It just was not something that I was keen to do. I knew that that was going to be his course of his recommendation to me. That's what he said, and I just was not comfortable with it. Just don't like the idea of putting all that sort of stuff in my body. Not for hair. I mean, I love having hair, but I could buy it though. If I can't grow it, I'm gonna buy it. So I didn't like the idea of that. And from the time I got the diagnosis and what he thought would be the best course of action, and realizing it did not sit well with me, I decided to go the natural route and use oils and that type of thing. So immediately I stopped using any sort of chemicals in my hair, and I started braiding it up. And you still have to be careful with braids because the tension can still cause problems with the scalp. I used to be very careful when I had the braids in, how they were braided. They could not be too tight. I did not keep them in very long. I made sure that I could still wash the hair, access the scalp easily to put anything on it. In terms of what I was putting in my hair, I used black Jamaican castor oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil, and then I used the argan oil as well, and different oil mixes. Olive oil came into it as well. Tea gel shampoo to kind of relieve itching and burning and that type of thing. That helped quite a bit. And from doing that since, let's call it September, let's call it October of 2012, I've had some great results from just doing that. From not straightening and using the chemicals, only exacerbated the issue, not caused, exacerbated. And then using the oils, I think that I've had some results. Now the thing about it is you can go the route that the doctors might suggest to you in terms of the medicines and the injections, and that if that's what you want to do, so be it. I just know from what I would have read and researched that there's no guarantee that that will work. So you go and you get these things, but they can't make any real guarantee to you that it will work, because there is no 100% cure-all for this condition. There's no anything that you can take, inject, and be guaranteed that this problem will reverse and your hair will just grow back like Rapunzel's. So I didn't feel like gambling myself with that. Maybe I should say gambling, but that's how I feel about it. If you have these problems, because this is the whole reason why I'm talking about it, I want to encourage people, women, that especially if you know that you're having this itching and this burning and this tenderness in your head, and you're starting to see these light spots, do not dismiss it. It might be signs of something like this. And the earlier you diagnose it, the earlier you can make whatever decision you want to make about it, whether it's you want to go with the doctor's suggestions of injections and Rogaine and all these other things, or try a different path. But early intervention, knowledge is power, and you can make better decisions. I just didn't want to go that particular path. And for me, I think the oils have worked because the burning and the tenderness that has so improved. I don't have as bad of a problem with those things at all anymore. And it seems as though I've actually been able to grow back some hair. Remember I told you might have those light patches or those bald areas, and you can grow back the hair if there is not tremendous damage to the hair around the perimeter of those spots. You can grow it back, and I've seen that from using those oil products and just being very gentle with my hair and my hair care, and the care of my scalp, I should say. And also, I would have gone on a cleanse in October of 2014. And was it October? Man, I went for the cleanser, and I think it was October. Anyhow, I went on a cleanse for 2 weeks, and it was fruits, vegetables, and water, essentially. That was it, and exercise. Well, not heavy exercise, but light exercise. I did yoga, sun salutations. Yeah, look it up. And coming off that, my stylist, when I went back there, because I was wearing, you for those of you guys know me, my big hair, crochet braids, she took it out. She was like, girl, I'm seeing some improvement in that area, in those areas. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Well, child, I can keep not eating meat. But I do try to take, use a lot of water, use a lot of fresh fruit, use a lot of vegetables, because clearly that helped and that worked. So that natural alternative route has been working and working for me. But like I said, the reason that I'm doing this and I'm talking about this is that I now feel like talking about it, and I want people to be aware, and I want you to not put it off, like I kind of did, dismissing it, thinking that maybe it was a product I was using, or just like my hair won't washing it nasty, those types of things that you tell yourself. And maybe you've been to a doctor, like I went to a doctor, and the doctor probably just dismissed it or suggested Rogaine or something like that. I just want you to know that you can ask for a biopsy to be done so that you can confirm what it is. The first doctor that I went to, I'm now remembering, he actually took like a Q-tip type of thing and just rubbed it on the scalp, and that was it, is what he did. He did nothing more than that. And I can't even remember if I even went back for the results, because he was just so like, it's probably an issue that will resolve itself, or just use the Rogaine for that little area and see if it could come back. That's what he said to me. And at that time I didn't know that, a scalp biopsy would have been a better option to finding out exactly what it is. Now, things like lupus and diabetes that will affect your hair, and maybe that might be what's causing your issues if you are having issues. So it pays to be thorough when you go to your doctor with a problem like that. You think, man, it's just hair and my scalp, but it actually could be indicative of something else. CCCA happens in otherwise healthy people, and I would have had so much blood work done over the last year or so in relation to something else I had going on. I think if I had either one of them, I would have been informed by now. But CCCA happens in otherwise healthy people, so don't be scared to go and ask just for a biopsy. It's just, knowledge is power, and you can figure out what is going on with you, and you can make early intervention into deciding, what type of intervention you want to make. You can do it earlier, and maybe save more hair than perhaps what I was able to do. But I don't think my hair is like terribly horrible. It's just you can see that there's some light areas. But I'm not really showing you the light areas right now. They're like really back here. I'll show you in another one. I'll take some pictures or something like that. post some pictures so you can see. But yeah, so that's my hair secret, and that's my hair story. I get really bummed out about it sometimes, because you know I I had thick hair, like really thick, hard to comb hair, that when it was straightened out, I thought it was just so beautiful and everything like that. And as much as I love cutting off my hair, I love low cuts. I mean, I wish I could even go lower. I'm not so sure. I'm still playing with that, because I'm not sure how the light spots will show out even more with it even lower. But I love doing it like that, having these short cuts. But now it's like, will it be the same? But I've kind of made up in my mind that if in the end I lose all of my hair, so be it. I'll just rock a bald head and just, I'm balding, I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm balding, I'm proud. Yeah, I'll get on like that. Now, bald parade, man, for women. And, you know, I live in the age of Remy, man. I could buy hair, though. I could buy hair. I could buy it straight, curly, colored. I could buy it. I could buy types. Indian and Taiwanese and all sorts of different things. I could buy it, though. Synthetic. I could buy it. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes I get a little bit down. It's not a fun thing to have. It's not a fun thing to hear that you have. But, you just bounce back from it. And, well, worst case scenario, you could just rock wigs and weaves and everything else. But you shouldn't do that. And not figure out what it is that's actually going on with your hair. If you're experiencing some of the issues that I'm talking about, the itching and the burning and the tenderness, and seeing that light spot, that spot in your hair, where your scalp, where there's no hair, or it seems to be thinning, don't just dismiss it out of hand. Just go and check it out and make sure that it's not something else that you might really need to work on from now. Just do that. A little word about the biopsy. The one time that I shed tears on this entire journey, finding out what it is going on with my scalp, was when I had the biopsy done. And I don't want to scare you, but my biopsy story is not pretty, because the doctor, there's a numbing agent that you put, so you get a first injection to numb the area. Yeah, make sure that they take some time to let that set in, to let that really work. And when they come and they go like, oh, do you feel that? And you feel something, say, hold up, sorry, I need more time. Because what happened is my doctor just, I got the numbing agent, and then 2 minutes or so, my doctor comes in and starts to work. Now you're saying to yourself, you should say stop right as soon as you felt it. But it's hard to say stop when you're like, yeah, it's kind of hard to get out stop. I got a lot of other things. But stop wasn't one. Well, no, I think I did say stop. But I said it but no, stop. I feel you should stop that. Yeah, no, did I? I ain't really sure. It hurt but it hurt bad. And I cried, snot everything. And I remember my husband was correcting CXC at St. Michael's School. I gotta tell you, I went to St. Michael's School like a sniveling mess looking for my husband, and nobody could find it. Well, he was still correcting papers. I was hoping to get him for when he was going down to lunch. I'm kind of ashamed though. He's my husband though. Supposed to dry my tears and things, so it made me feel bad. So then I had to just drive. I drove home. I cried all the way home, and it wasn't about oh shoot, something could be wrong with my hair. Freak that. I was in pain. I was traumatized. I actually want to go back and do another biopsy, after all of that, but I'll probably just go to a different doctor, because the doctor I went to, he really is good, very, very good. I just had that bad experience, and ever since then, I think I've been a bit traumatized about the whole situation, so I want to go to somebody else, and I'll know exactly what to ask, because I've done my research. I'll know what it is I want, and I'll know that, well, go hold up, get this thing time to work. And my husband will definitely be there. He's usually there with me when I have any doctor visits, any event that I have to get an injection, because as a baby, okay, judge me or judge me not, So he's gonna have to be there. Um, yeah, but I want to get another one done to see if it's at that burnt out stage. Central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia reaches a burnout stage where it's effectively, if you don't have any like major itching or anything like that, burning for like a year, you're considered like in the clear. Like, okay, well that's been put to rest. It's burnt itself out. I feel as though I am at that place because my condition hasn't gotten any worse, and it's actually improved to a particular extent, in some areas of the scalp. So I feel and hope and pray that I'm there, and I'm thinking I want to go back and get another one done. But like I said, I'm just sharing my story with you, but I don't want you to be afraid of getting the biopsy done, because it's the one way, the only way to confirm exactly what it is that's going on with your hair, if it's that form of alopecia or other forms of alopecia. This is the best, really the only way to figure that particular thing out. So just go and take a friend if you need to, if you're like me, you're fearful of needles or what have you. And also just be mindful if the numbing agent doesn't work, you could feel something, just insist that it be stopped, or that you don't start it to begin with. I think for me it was like, I know that I'm a big baby anyway, and part of my mind was trying to tell myself, man, you just, it's not as bad as it is. And then like the next part was like, you idiot, shut the hell up, it is. Oh my god, take a whole seat and just shut up. Ah! Yeah, so in the midst of that discourse, the whole thing continued. The doctor, because he'd started, and it would have meant, I guess, like cutting me again or something like that. So I just tried to stay as still as possible, tears running down my neck, and saying all sorts of different things. And then it was over. It didn't take very long, but yeah, majorly traumatized. Don't let that happen to you. And that's all I have to say about that. I hope that it helps some person. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your questions in my inbox. Like I said, I have those like areas, but I don't think they look too bad. I think, it just looks like I have like hair, but I just want you to know exactly what is going on, and hope that you don't make some of the same mistakes that I did, and that you get the help that you might very well need earlier rather than later. And in the off event that there's somebody who's going to have something rude to say or anything like that, because I'm sharing my story, yeah, I just feel free to make your comment, and I'll just delete you. You would have done something good for me. I'll know not to have you on my Facebook page anymore. And then after that, feel free to jump off a cliff or to run in Monday morning back to school traffic. Yeah, for all the haters, in the event that there are haters on my Facebook page. I don't think so. My Facebook page people are cool. Sometimes you never know, right? You never know. So yeah, you can do that. If you be a hater or have something mean to say, yeah, a girl can have like some bald patches and stuff. It happens. But I'm still cute, I think. So thanks for listening. Hope this helps. Night night.